A housing recession won't bring home prices down, economist says, and here's why. Now check this out. This is an article from CNBC, and I will have a link to this article down in the description below. And here is the key word, housing recession. Now I gotta tell you, I do not agree with this article. And this is why. And if you kind of just look at it and you just see the headline, it kind of pops out and you're like, okay, I get it. Housing recession won't bring prices down. But the true story is that we're not going, the housing, unlike 2008 where the housing market crash brought down the entire economy, this crash is a lot different, right? We're not in that necessarily, we're in a housing bubble, but we're not in a housing crisis per se, okay? The crisis that we're in right now is basically high inflation. And high inflation essentially is what it's going to do. And the fact that the whole world has high inflation, but what it's going to do in our country is basically make our money less valuable. And it's going to slow down GDP. And that could trigger a economic recession. As a result of having an economic recession, home prices will most likely come down because people won't be able to pay, right? If you have a situation where, with higher interest rates, small businesses, it's costing them more money to borrow. So that means that their margins will be less, right? If you got to borrow $100,000, from a bank, every week to sustain your business, right? And obviously you're making money and you're paying it back. But what I'm saying is borrowing that $100,000 a week, it's going to cost you more money. So at the end, when you start doing your sales, you gotta, basically you're gonna be making less profit because you're paying more to interest. Now, another story there would be, companies having to pay higher wages, right? So now, because of higher wages, because of inflation is making everything more expensive, the cost of goods are more expensive for them, like to buy the raw material, that's gonna cause products to be more expensive. So their margins become even smaller. So at the end of the day is if the economy could sustain paying higher prices, for everyday goods, then yeah, we will probably be good. But I just don't think that's going to happen. In my opinion, what I think is going to happen is that we're going to have, companies are going to start reporting lower sales. And when they start reporting those, the markets are going to freak out. The stock market's going to get all freaked out. And they're most likely going to, do some layoffs because what a lot of companies, public companies like to do basically is when their stock starts going down, they got to look more profitable. And one of the best, easiest ways for them to look more profitable is basically slashing their staff. By slashing their staff, all that money, they still have their sales. So like if you think of like AT&T, right? AT&T is making a bunch of money from everyday from monthly subscriptions for let's just say for your phone bill, right? Well, those cell phone bills are not going to stop paying just because they slash 10% of their workforce. What really happens is we're all still paying for the phone. They slash their workforce, right? Which kind of hurts them because maybe their customer service will suck as a result. But basically, they slash their workforce. So they basically, all that money that they were paying to those people, they don't have to pay it anymore. And that basically makes the stock spike a little bit, right? But the problem is those 10% of the staff that just got laid off, well, now that adds to the unemployment and that creates basically the recession because now those people are not going out and spending because they're not making money, right? Because they just got laid off. So that is a domino effect that eventually starts bringing everything down. So when I look at this article and they kind of talk about they kind of go in and they say, okay, how it's been up 20% from a year ago, and that they expect that in 2023 we're going to have a 2% increase, right? And we're going to have here. Let me just read it for you guys. Let me get that out of the way. Okay. Housing prices are still expected to be up 11% for 2022, followed by a 2% in 2023, according to NARS. Here, let's just jump into the Redfin weekly housing data. So they're saying that we're still going to be up 10%. So we started at the beginning of the year, we started at the median sale price was $351,000. and now we're at 374,000. So so they don't think it's going to drop 25,000. Now, I was they're thinking it's going to drop a little bit less. Okay, so we're going to monitor this because you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if prices do come down to about 350 if we don't continue to see this crash keep coming. For this article to be correct would be basically we're going to end up around here, like around 360 by the end of the year, which maybe. So it's going to kind of start curving in like this. We'll see. Or it could start dropping like this, right? I guess they're not predicting a hard crash. Remember, real estate moves slow, okay? I think the crash is most likely going to start coming in at the beginning of next year, as a matter of fact. So as we keep reading, they're saying, you know, this isn't a recession in home prices and price decline on nationwide basis is unlikely. So there's some things that are true about this article, but there's also, I think they're leaving out the, you know, the bigger question that, you know, what is inflation going to do to GDP growth? What is happening around the world? Because let me tell you, China is going through a huge crisis right now. Europe is going through a huge crisis right now. All the countries that did lockdowns are going through huge crises, you know, and everything is really out of whack. I think that this article personally is written, you know, just looking at housing only. And I think that when you're looking at the bigger picture right now is that you kind of have to take everything into account. And inflation right now is the name of the game, because inflation is probably going to be the catalyst that's going to bring, you know, basically everything down. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I want to say a big, huge thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos, supporting my channel, leaving comments, liking, you know, the videos. It really means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much. If you're new to my channel and you like what I have to say, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.